I was attracted to Project NatureConnect because I was looking for a way to deepen my relationship with the natural world. And I had been a contemporary Wiccan practitioner for more than a decade, and had gotten to a place in my development as a practitioner where I didn't seem to be deepening my connection as I had been when I first started practicing contemporary Wicca. I had done all the training that was available in the area where I live, and I didn't know where to turn to continue developing as a practitioner of the craft. And a friend told me about Project NatureConnect, and it was the start of a really profound and very, what I experienced as a very moving deepening of my relationship with Earth. Well, I don't bring it into my daily life as much as I would like to, because what I'd really like to do is just sort of go away and live in the wilderness and, kind of revel in it and, be an earth child filled with earth bliss all the time. And that doesn't happen. I live in the city. I have a job. I have a family. But what I have noticed as a result of being involved with Project NatureConnect is that I'm aware of what's happening in the natural world so much more than I used to be, that it reaches out and pulls me in. I live in a house with it's in an urban neighborhood in a medium-sized city, but it has big windows, and everything in my vision through those windows, I'm noticing much more than I did before. So I'm noticing the sky, I'm noticing the birds, I'm noticing the wind, I'm noticing the cycles of the moon, I'm noticing the butterflies and I'm noticing everything so much more. And the other part of it is that I'm wanting to be in it so much more than I used to be much more of an indoor animal than I am now. And now I would say that I really am an outdoor animal who has the misfortune to be spending more time inside than I would like. But I'm also spending a lot more time outside than I used to. And it's a yearning, and it's a calling, and it's an intense motivation to go out and sit under the tree instead of having my cup of tea, inside in the living room or whatever, as I used to do. The biggest benefit has been tremendously increased intimacy in my relationship with Earth. And when I say that, what I mean is that I'm much more keenly aware of the natural world unfolding around me. I'm noticing more about what Earth is doing in many more moments of my life than I did before. I'm much more apt to notice what's going on with sky, to notice wildlife that I might not have noticed before, to have a deeper appreciation for weather and for the considerable speck crawling across the paper on my desk, for everything in my relationship with Earth has been enriched, has deepened, has increased, is more dynamic and more intimate and joyful for me than it was before. And I'm really loving that. Don't know how I ever got along without that before. My favorite part is the interconnected web of all creation of which we are a part. And when I had known about the interdependent web for a long time, because I grew up as a Unitarian Universalist, and that's included in their covenant, is this notion that there's an interdependent web of all existence of which we are a part. And of course, so I had grown up with that. It wasn't an unfamiliar concept to me. And the part of it that just really reached out and pulled me in and made me go wow and filled me with excitement was the web strings of attraction, because what that gave me was the piece about, so that's how the web works. So this piece about the whole of life on earth being held together by these dynamic web strings of energetic attraction. And this actually, I think, probably is the unified theory that men have been searching for so many years. This notion that everything is held together by these web strings of attraction. I just love it. It's so elegant and it's so eloquent and it's so dynamic and it's so vibrant, you know, and I just I can fall into that part of it and just revel in it, because it seems the most elegant and the simplest way for Earth to have managed how exactly it is that everything about Earth life is connected to everything else on Earth. That's my favorite part, the web strings of connection. I think what I would say is, if you're attracted to that at all, take a risk and see what happens. Because what happens is probably going to be wonderful for you, and your story might not be exactly as mine was. You may be starting at a different place than I did. You may be attracted to different things than I'm attracted to in the natural world. But the likelihood is that you're going to have some kind of really wonderful experience, and that you will come away from your activities with Project NatureConnect enjoying being in the natural world much more than you did before. And you'll also learn amazing things about yourself as a natural earthling creature, as a member of the family of earthling kind. You'll learn wonderful things about yourself, like your amazing 53 senses instead of the 5 that you probably think you have. One of the wonderful harvests for me has been the development of a whole host of sensory capacities that I used to name as feelings or inclinations or yearnings, and never actually understood really deeply and really clearly that all of those things are capacities that all of us carry within us, and they're actually the things that make us human. And learning more about those things and learning how to articulate them and how to recognize them and enhance them and deal with them, and learning what the meanings of those 53 sensory capacities are and what they're telling me about the meaning of the moments of my life has been a really rich and wonderful experience for me.